Hello and welcome. You're watching NewsX Deep Dive with me, Vineet Malhotra. IndiGo, which operates about 2,200 flights every single day and carries out of every 10 passengers in this country, has brought India to a near total meltdown. It is catastrophic operational failure resulting in over 1,000 flight cancellations and massive delays, which has left close to 2.5 lakh passengers stranded across the country this week. When these passengers turned to other airlines, they were met with airfares that rose relentlessly. It was a classic twist, the knife moment created by market forces and competitors who saw demand skyrocket. What is a passenger supposed to do in such a situation? Many of them had urgent, non-negotiable reasons to travel: an exam to take, a wedding to attend, to be present at their own wedding, to perform the last rites of a loved one. There are countless moments in life that simply cannot be postponed. If the stranded passengers is in economy, they may consider taking a train. But if they were traveling business class, many of them, and can do, turn to private jets for themselves and their families. And that is exactly what is happening in India right now. The demand for charter flights has hit an all-time high. In one dramatic instance, an Embraer E175LR private jet was flown to Guwahati on the 6th of December to pick up 36 children of top corporate executives who were stranded in Kaziranga after IndiGo cancelled its flights. A Delhi family chartered a flight to Ayodhya after commercial disruptions threatened to derail their pre-scheduled Muhurat for a ceremonial visit. Operators also reported emergency requests linked to medical travel. Popular wedding locations such as Udaipur, Jodhpur and Jaipur and Hyderabad and Chennai have seen a massive spike in private jet bookings. In one case, an 8-seater private jet flew empty from Delhi to Kolkata just to pick up a wedding group when their airplane connection broke down. The airfares for the private flights vary too much. Private jets are typically charged by flight per hour, covering aircraft crew, fuel and insurance. The turboprops or very light jets cost about 1.7 to 3.5 lakh per hour. The cost ranges between 2.5 lakh per hour for smaller 6-seater aircrafts and 4 lakh rupees per hour for larger 8-seater jets, including handling fees and taxes. The light or mid-size jets cost about 3.8 to 8 lakhs per hour. Then the super mid-size or heavy jets cost from 6.5 to 13.5 per hour. The ultra-long range and VIP airliners cost a whopping 14 lakh to 20 lakh per hour. Operators are now moving to regional jet models that can be quickly reconfigured for VIP or full group charters. The most booked families of aircraft are the Embraer ERJ series, including the ERJ 135, the ERJ 140 and the ERJ 145 again, which is the standard safety 50-seater. The other popular family is the Bombardier or the Canada Air CRJ series, including the CRJ 100, the 200, both of which are also 50-seaters. These aircraft were originally designed as regional airliners but are commonly used for VIP shuttles, corporate moves and group travels. They are popular because they can carry large groups, have adequate range for most domestic routes and can be deployed at short notice. Let us take a practical example. A typical Delhi to Mumbai flight takes about 1.5 to 2 hours. If someone hires a 50-seat ERJ or a CRJ at a market rate of 4 to 10 lakh rupees per hour, the total cost for the trip can be between 8 and 20 lakh rupees. If all 50 seats are filled and cost is split evenly, the price per person comes to about 1,60,000 to 40,000. I beg your pardon, 16,000 to 40,000 rupees. But if the same jet is configured for only 20 executive seats, the per person cost immediately rises to 40,000 to over 1 lakh rupees. India's private aviation fleet is limited. Estimates vary because the fleet includes everything from helicopters to turboprops to business jets and VIP airliners. Industry assessments suggest that India has between 4 to 550 private and non-scheduled aircraft, with around 468 being a frequently quoted number and about 168 of these being standard business jets. This means that while capacity exists, it is far from unlimited. A sudden spike in demand can quickly book out most large group-friendly aircrafts. Pune-based Naib Aeronautics Limited reported an almost 5-fold jump in inquiries within just 48 hours. Saurabh Jangid, the company's accountable manager, said, and I quote, "There are literally no aircrafts available right now. Demand is that overwhelming. We usually get about 10 inquiries a day. That number has shot up to 50, and Hyderabad alone contributes nearly a quarter of them. Mumbai and Ahmedabad are also seeing heavy activities." He also said that actual charter movements have nearly tripled. On a typical day, the company operates 2 to 3 charters, handling 4 to 6 flights. The disruption has pushed them to fly 6 to 7 charters, amounting to as many as 14 flights a day. He also explained that most requests are for go now departures, with passengers desperate to leave immediately. Some are willing to pay for 2 to 3 hours of ferry time just to bring an aircraft from another city like Mumbai so they can reach their destination without delay. Delhi-based Aero Charters noted a similar trend. Managing Director Shailendra Singh said even empty leg flights, which typically have very low bookings, are now being snapped up instantly. He said that once availability is shared on social media groups, return flights also get booked within minutes. Over the last few days, his company has doubled its charter deployments, using both jets and helicopters to meet demand. Senior Captain Balraj Bhullad from a Hyderabad-based charter firm said that the surge in demand is likely to continue until airline operations stabilize. Social media channels are flooded with charter inquiries, and while the option remains expensive, many travelers now prioritize time over cost. He added that private aviation has natural capacity limits, as most aircraft seat only 6 to 16 passengers, making it challenging to absorb sudden spikes in demand. Costs also rise unexpectedly if jets must be ferried from other cities. Airport congestion is also a problem, especially at terminals where commercial and business aviation share space. In Pune, for instance, IndiGo's grounded aircrafts are occupying multiple aprons, leaving no parking space for charter planes. So, who exactly is booking these jets? The bookings are coming from 3 clear groups. First, corporate clients and event organizers who cannot afford disruptions and are willing to absorb the cost. Second, high net worth individuals, including politicians, industry leaders, and members of the film industry who value reliability and privacy. Third, there are wedding parties, sports teams, and group travelers who are essentially last resort customers. When scheduled flights collapse, they charter an entire aircraft. New reports have specifically mentioned corporate groups and destination wedding families as some of the earliest surge buyers. IndiGo's network failure did not create the private jet market overnight, but it did expose the industry's role as a shock absorber. When the scheduled carriers hiccup, private charter operations will fill the gap, and customers with urgent needs or deep pockets are willing to pay. For many travelers, a seat on a 50-seater ERJ or a CRJ can be surprisingly cost-efficient compared with last-minute premium scheduled fares, but for smaller groups or VIP setups, the per-person price can rocket past 1 lakh quickly. Industry capacity is significant but finite, which is why these aircrafts were booked fast in immediate days after the meltdown. This is Srijit Panisar, aviation expert, with us on the program to talk more about this. Mr. Panisar, appreciate you being here with us, sir. Well, we have already explained what the cushioning has been done by these private jets, but that is not something that the common man can afford. This is for the few and the privileged. This is also exposing a deep lacuna in our aviation sector, which is basically a duopoly right now, that if one airline has problems, then the entire system has the potential to shut down.
Well, let me tell you at the outset, it's a matter of grave concern and shame on the airline. One of the biggest domestic airlines who have been operating nicely, just 3-4 days, they're crooked planning to blackmail DGCA because of flight and duty time limitation. Is it the justification? They have brought some imported managers. They didn't know that? They were sleeping? No, refunding the money because the government has woken up now. The ministry should return their fare immediately by 7 p.m. today. I appreciate that. But refunding the money, they have to do it. It's a criminal violation. But what about the compensation for the harassment you have given to them? They have come from outside India, different part of the world. They have come from different cities. What about the harassment? Are you compensating for that or not? This is the time for the airline to get their name back. They should compensate these passengers. Then only otherwise they have made, IndiGo has made aviation a mockery of aviation in the world. People are laughing at the management of IndiGo. What has happened to them? Are they sick people? They do not know how to plan the airline? Even the radiwalas will do a better planning than these people. They have harassment. Who's going to compensate for the harassment to the innocent passengers? They had faith in you. They had confidence in the IndiGo airline that they will take them safely to their destination. But when they come, they get a boarding card. And last minute they say the flight is cancelled. They do not give them food. They do not give accommodation. They do not give them even water to drink. What can be a better shame than this? I think this airline should be either closed down, and ministry should give them a notice to ground the airline because they could not fulfill the condition of the contract which they have signed with the government of India. They have brought not only shame to the aviation, but they have shame to the country itself. That in India this is happening with the passengers, innocent passengers, children, ladies who come for different program. They have different for going for interview, marriage, death anniversary, any sick persons and all, and they are harassing them. Who's going to compensate them for this harassment? I think the owner of this airline, Rahul Bhatia, should take up this situation seriously, and he should sack those people who are for ill planning and crooked planning of blackmailing DGCA.
Fair enough,
You
sir.
can't blackmail the government of India.
You're absolutely right, sir. You cannot blackmail the government of India. I appreciate you joining us, sir. Unfortunately, we have run out of time. That's all the chat that we can have with you. We'll take a short break now. Be right back.